again with the thing on the. I don't get it. I don't know
Every
how to.
time.
Every time, it's like weird backwards mirror shit. Welcome to episode 59, everybody. Did you understand that list I sent you with all the names? You're just at the end going to
Yeah.
randomly pick 3 people.
Yeah.
Okay,
At
cool.
first I was like, what are all these names? And I was like, oh yeah, the t-shirt.
Yeah, t-shirt thing. What's going on, buddy? Episode 59. Welcome.
Well, this is gonna get like real dark real fast.
Nice.
Yeah, so basically woke up this morning. At first woke up to the sound of my dog puking. Love that. So had to get up and clean that. So then I like crawl back into bed, whatever. Then I finally get out of bed. I'm just scrolling on social media, and I see this friend of mine. He's like reposting this girl's story about how she was like sexually assaulted by this guy. Trigger warning. And then I was like, oh my gosh. I think this is the same person who also did stuff to me back in 2018. So now I'm in this like whole group chat with like, I don't know. And she's like, I'm like trying to take him down. Like, will you go to the police with me? Blah, blah, blah. So it's just this whole thing. And I'm like, I honestly haven't thought about this in so long because I've kind of blocked it out of my memory because I'm just like, this happened so long ago. But now it's all coming to light again. And I'm like, great, I'm going to have to deal with this all over again.
You're going to go with her?
What?
You're going to go with her?
Yeah. I don't know when, but we've been talking about it all morning. So I'm just like, great.
Yikes. Well, I'm sorry. For one, I'm very sorry that happened.
Yeah. I mean, it was back in 2018. I was so young and naive. I didn't know like anything how Hollywood really worked. And this person just like apparently manipulated a lot of girls. So there's, I guess, a whole bunch of us. So now it's just this whole thing. So
that sucks.
Yeah.
Like speaking of people who hate women, do you know who hates women is TMZ? Do you ever read TMZ?
Not too much.
I'm a fan. I always go to it for jokes, but it's like they hate women so much, and it's like so. The headline was, Kanye West's former assistant sues Kanye for sexual harassment.
Yeah.
And then right underneath it, they're like, see hot shots of Kanye's assistant. I'm like, what the fuck?
My gosh.
What do you do?
They're trying to like demantle her statement by doing that.
It's just so ridiculous. It's so nuts. I was gonna say, did you have fun at the show? When we did a show at the Mint, did you have fun?
I did have fun.
You looked very overthinky during the show.
I know, because I hate when I'm not like so on point with things. So I just sometimes get into my head. Also, like, I'm haven't been performing as much as like, growing up, or like even when I first lived here, I was in acting classes doing things all the time. And, I haven't necessarily done a show for music since 2021. So, and then like, I don't know why, but as I've gotten older and older, my anxiety has gotten like 10 times worse. I should probably be back on meds, but that's a story for another time. But so sometimes I just get so anxiety ridden and I'm like, bro, snap out of it. We've been doing this your entire life.
It's so funny because it's just, I mean, we're like, when it comes to, I guess, not personality, obviously, but when it comes to approach to performing, you and I are totally different. And
what do you mean?
Like, well, because we were sitting at the table and you were just like, and I just was, and I could feel it. And I was like, what this is, and I was just like, you're so great. We're going to have so much fun. Isn't this fun? It's going to be great. And on stage, I'm like, yeah, fun. And you're just like, you're Cindy Brady in it. But I thought it sounded great.
I know. I just thought the first song we did, I just thought I was like so off tune, and then I get like disappointed in myself because I'm like, why can I not remember how to carry a tune for the first 5 seconds? But yeah, I don't know. It's something as I've gotten older, I have like more stage fright than I've ever had in my entire life, which is just so wild. I'm like, I've literally been doing this since I was like 6 years old. Like, I don't know what the problem is, but
Well, we'll keep doing it, and I mean, we need to do it more because it's fun, and it's like it's
Hmm.
totally different. Like it's just different than what other
Yeah.
anybody else is doing, and so we should do it. And I have a recording of that song I played for you since we were talking about
Oh
your.
yes, yes,
So
yes,
I'll
yes.
send that, but it does have a song like a melody and lyrics on it, but they don't have to be.
Yeah.
You
No,
rewrite
but
it.
yeah, but I'll take the inspo, you know?
Right on. What's new in your life? Any crazy boy stories? Any
Oh my gosh, wait, listen to this. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is so diabolical. I mean, not really, but back in 2020, in the beginning of 2021, I was talking to this guy. I was like, literally, I was talking to this guy for like maybe a month and a half. I
is
was
that a
like,
long time in girl length?
yeah, it is.
Okay.
Especially when a guy is like convincing you, like, oh, I really like you, especially when they're the one to like pull the moves out first. And then you're like, oh,
Uh-huh.
this guy really likes me. Anyways, I was talking to this guy for like literally a month and a half, and I was like, oh my God, I really like him. Like, he's just my type, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, then it was like, it just shit started to happen where I was like, oh, this guy's full of it. Like, he's just a fuck boy.
Hmm.
And then he basically just like ghosted me so hard. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I don't know, he's the one who said he liked me, whatever,
Did you
all
guys
this
do
stuff.
it?
Do what?
Did he just ghost you? Like, or did you guys
Wait, what?
in 2020, did you hook up and then he ghosted
Yeah,
you?
yes, 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 yes.
So you hooked
So
up and then he ghosted you?
yeah, we were like hooking up for like a month and a half, like
Okay,
maybe
great.
if that. So then, and like literally the first week of 2021, we like hung out once, and then maybe like 2 days later, he was talking about how he's gonna throw like a birthday party for himself, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, I was like, yeah, that sounds fun. He's like, yeah, I'll invite you. And then I was like, well, he's like, but I'm not too sure if I'm gonna have a party yet. And then he's like, but if I don't, like, we should do something. And I was like, yeah, totally. Then this night, like that night, I see that he's having a party at his house, and I was like, what the heck? Like, A, he didn't invite me like he said he
Hmm.
was, and like B, like I haven't heard from him all day since we had that conversation. So then like a few weeks go by, I'm like trying to reach out and be like, hey, like, do you want to hang out? Nothing, like radio silence. So then I finally, like, stupidly, I sent him like this, like this voice memo. I'm like being so nice, and I was just like, hey, like, I understand, like, if you've moved on, whatever, but I just thought we had gotten really close. And like, if you didn't want to like hang out with me anymore, or didn't like me, you could have just said so. Like, I would have appreciated that rather than you ghosting me.
Right.
And I was like, but I was so nice. I was like, but you know what? I wish you the best in life. I would, like, I was being very kind. And then he responds with, sorry, you have wrong number. And I lost my mind. I was like, does he think I'm dumb? Like, I'm
Hmm.
sorry. How you can't like, yeah, anyways. So I went like, literally, like, all my friends know, like, I was so angry. I wrote like many songs about this person. I based my whole music video off of this person. Like, it was just a whole thing. It was great inspiration, let me tell you what. But I haven't seen or spoken to him in 3.5 years. Randomly the other night, my friend and I were like bringing up that time of my life, and I was like, oh, wonder what he's up to. Went to go look at his Instagram, and I was like, oh, he's private, doesn't even say he like lives in LA anymore, whatever. And we were just like talking about it, and she's joking around. She's like, how funny would it be if you refollowed him? And I'm like, yeah, it would be funny. Like, it's water under the bridge at this point. Like, I don't give a fuck. But I was like, but I'm not going to. Like, why would I refollow this guy? I shit you not, the next day I get a notification on Instagram, and it's like, oh, you have a new follower. I'm like, who's my new follower? It was this guy. And I'm like, what are the odds that I literally had just talked about you last night for the first time in forever, and then now you're gonna refollow me on Instagram? And I'm like, what for? Like, A, you don't even live in LA anymore. B, the last time you talked to me, you told me I have the wrong number. And it was just so wild. I'm like, I don't know what this is
You
about.
know
I
what you
don't.
got to do. You know what you got to do. Here's
What?
what you got to do. If you want like the ultra revenge of revenge, at some point he's gonna message you. At some point he's just gonna. And when he messages you, be like win an Academy Award for like not giving a fuck and being cool. So like, oh my god, hey, that's so cool. Whatever, all the things. And then when you're chatting back and forth, bait him with, text me sometime, leave him your number, and eventually he's going to text you. And when he texts you, respond, sorry, you have the wrong number, and then block him on both.
Oh my gosh.
That would be the greatest, that you would win so much stuff.
That would be pretty great.
It
Yeah,
would be,
but I'm
it
just
would be
like,
epic.
I'm just so intrigued. I'm like, what is the thought process behind like wanting to refollow me 3.5 years later after you ghosted me so hard?
Sorry, you have the wrong number. I mean, the young people and the ghosting, it's like, I mean, as a man, I have to say, we would rather, I mean, it's on both sides. We'd rather hear this, look, you suck or this isn't working.
Yeah.
Everyone would, and I'm sure you would as well. But also, you did say something that I thought was funny. And it's such a great thing about the human condition. When people break up with each other, we all feel the need to give these dramatic farewell speeches.
I know it was so like it was so dramatic. I'm like, I feel so stupid for having done it at the time, but I was just trying to be nice. I was like, you didn't need to ghost me, but like, wish you well in life. Like,
Yeah, and it's
so
just like,
dumb.
and it's like you don't give a fuck. But you're like
Yeah.
you don't wish them bad, but it's just the fact that you feel the need to just be like, I have to say good luck to you. I don't know what else to say. This is so uncomfortable. When in reality, you're thinking, did you really just text?
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
the wrong number. So all right. So I have on our current list of stuff. I just threw it together this morning. So how are you on advice? What's your motto with as far as advice goes? Are you an advice giver? Are you an
Mm.
advice taker? Do you take the advice people give you? Do you just listen to listen? I know we were talking on it was either last episode or at the show about you said you have something called analysis paralysis, or I think you said something like that. And maybe I'm wrong, but how you just get to a point where you have a decision that needs to be made. You can't decide what it is, so you just
Do
that's it. You just
nothing.
do nothing.
Yeah.
So when it comes to advice, do your friends do they give you advice? Do you take it? Like, what's your approach? What's your thoughts on advice?
I'm a great advice giver. Do I take the same? Do I listen to my own advice though? No. When people give me advice, like it's not that I'm not listening to it and I'm not hearing it and not taking it to heart, but I also, unfortunately enough, have to go through it the hard way rather than just being like, "You're right. Let me do something about this." Like for example, per Stumper, for literally the last 2 years, everybody's been like say goodbye to this person. What are you doing? And then I don't know, it's taken me 2 years to be like, okay, bye, you know?
Right.
But I'm the best advice giver, but taking it is so much harder.
What's the best advice you've ever given?
I don't know. I would say like I'm great at when people tell me or venting to me whatever they're talking to me about. I'm great at listening, and then I don't know for like I don't have like a specific example of like stuff I've been really good at giving advice on, but like I don't know, especially when people come to me about talking about like depression or like other boy situations. I'm so great at giving them my advice because I know what they're going through. But do I listen to it when it comes to myself when I'm depressed or I'm dealing with a boy situation? Absolutely not.
No, you just like you like do you embrace the misery for creative purposes, or do you find comfort in the sadness?
I think it's almost like an addiction to like feeling my own pain. As stupid as that sounds, like I feel like
Absolutely.
I felt a certain way for so long about like myself or when it comes to like people not liking me, whatever. And then I just like almost become addicted to a feeling like, oh, it's never going to happen for me. I'll never be happy. I'll never be in love. And then it just, yeah, becomes this, like, I guess this comfort in your own misery, which I'm like, I don't want to feel like that anymore. I want to be allowed to be happy and feel great things, you know?
So are you a believer in manifestation? Are you a manifester?
Oh, totally. Like, I think that we were talking about last episode or maybe the episode before, uh, back in 2020, there was a time where, I would go to this little stream, the LA River, whatever. And
Right,
then
right,
like
right, right.
everything I manifested at the time came true. Like I'm so big in that, but I have to get to like a certain point in my life where I feel, what's the word? Where I feel like good enough about myself to be like, okay, I'm going to put myself in the right mindset to be able to like think those good things about myself, to
Do you
manifest that onto myself.
don't you think it's as simple as manifesting? I mean, like you're projecting I'm always going to be alone. I'm never going to find anybody. I'm always going to be alone. I'm
Yeah,
never going to like you're throwing that out there in the universe.
totally.
So right now it's coming back. It's coming back
Yeah.
to you. And it's maybe it's as simple as I'm gonna find. I don't know. It's just like life is so simple and so difficult and challenging for all of us. All we want to do is be happy, find love, thrive. It's pretty
Yeah.
simple. Like stay healthy, all those things. And it's just like it evades us as long as we choose to evade it, I suppose.
Hmm.
A question that I was asked in therapy a long time ago, which I thought was cool, and I was reminded. I was talking to a friend earlier. You have to ask yourself this question, or whenever you're trying to figure out whether or not you're ready to be in a relationship. If you were your best friend,
Hmm.
or if you were a guy, no, what it's like, if you were, would you let? It was said to me like
Like,
the,
would you let
the,
someone else talk about you the way you talk about yourself?
no.
Okay.
That's also that's a different angle or different approach to it. But the therapist said to me when I was not winning or not positive, they're like, "Would you let your sister date you?"
Mm.
Meaning, and it'd be like, "So would you let your brother date you?" Obviously, not your brother in a Kentucky way, but like, do you think that you would recommend you to someone else if you
Yeah.
weren't you?
Mm.
And would you?
Totally.
You
I'm
would.
I'm great. I'm
Okay.
so great. I mean, sure, I'm like slightly mentally ill, but I'm perfect.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. That's a good thing. How long do you stay on social media every day?
Too long.
Hour, 2 hours. And what site are you constantly on?
I would say I'm mostly Instagram and TikTok, but it's usually like during the day, right before I go to work, when I'm like, what do I do in the hour or two before I need to go to work? And then right before I go to bed. It's bad. I'm just like constantly like I find
Okay.
myself doom scrolling
What is doom scrolling?
when you just like can't stop looking at videos and you're just like scrolling away.
How many DMs do you get a week?
Uh like barely any.
What? You get
Yeah,
any
people
DMs?
people are shocked by that, but I'm like, like I don't post what I used to post anymore. Like I said, I used to be like queen of thirst traps, but like I don't post that kind of stuff 24/7 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, if I post like any kind of random story, I might get like one DM here or there. Or like if, for example, if I do post a thirst trap, like sure, I'll get maybe like 5 to 10 different messages, but it's not like on a regular. I'm not like
Mm-hmm.
constantly getting hit up by people, nor do I entertain most people. So
Right.
half the time I'll just like it or I won't respond or I'll just be like, thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Um, I Michelle always says that because whenever she like when she goes out dancing or when she's working at the club or whatever, she's scantily clad and she's
Hmm.
a beautiful lady. I'm always like, how many dudes were dudes just hitting on you? And she always says, no, as a woman, you can not put out that vibe and guys will just
Hmm.
ignore you. And I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
understand. And that's true. You can just not put the vibe out.
Yeah, I mean, definitely back when I was like posting thirst traps all the time, was, I feel like back then I was a little bit less jaded in how I felt about
Mm-hmm.
LA and life and boys and whatever. And so I was like, I probably had a bit more confidence than I do right now, just, I don't know, given circumstances I've been through for the last 2 years. But
Mm-hmm.
I would post like thirst traps and like I would be like more seductive in the way that I would post it and what I was writing when I would post things, captions, whatever on my story. And now I post things and it's just like to be like silly, like, oh yeah, I'm hot, but like I don't give a fuck for anyone to respond to me. Like I'm just like I'm going about it in a different way where I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, like somebody talk to me. It's more so just like this is me. And
If you
yeah,
like it, cool. If you don't, cool.
yeah.
It's so weird. I mean, not weird at all. I think that was so funny because you were. It's just about like different perspective. I have a joke that is when I was younger, I used to like look at a woman. It was like put together and tan and everything, and like extensions and the eyelashes and the jewelry and the boobs, and be like, "What's her story?" And now I'm if I see a woman with all that work and effort, I'm like, I don't want to read that book. That looks like a lot of work. I don't want to do that. And it was funny because I know you and we're friends and
Yeah.
and you're lovely and I always tell you so. And you're like you were telling the story about your hot Australian model friend,
Yeah.
one of your 19 friends with the same name, Maddie. And you were like, oh, but my friend Maddie's just like this supermodel Australian. And you showed me the pictures. And I remember thinking, beautiful woman, this is a lot. Like, it just seems like it would be a lot. And it's like,
No,
it's just
but
a
it's
different approach.
but she's like she's like me though, like the most like down to earth person, most like natural person ever. Like she is one of my longest friends here in LA, and she is literally like me, just Australian and 10 times more beautiful.
She's great. I just like I looked at it and I was just like, that looks like so much work, and not in a bad way. Just like I'm tired. All right. So what is a current like? What is your favorite word currently? A word that you say? Well, is it bro? Is bro your favorite word?
I do find myself saying bro a lot. Like it's funny, Per Stumper used to get so mad because he would be saying things and it would just be like a word out of my mouth where I'd be like, bro, chill. And he'd be like, I'm not your bro. And I'm like, okay, sorry. It's just like my lingo. um, I don't know that I have a favorite word right now.
I used to
To be honest.
get bro mad when any female would call me buddy. Once like I don't care now. I think it's great. It's just a fun word. But like if you get buddied back in the day, it's the most like sad thing to get as a guy.
Yeah.
I just got buddied. You might as well just snip my dick off and just like whip it in the road. I think my current favorite word is bananas. I say it all the time.
Bananas.
Yeah, I'm like,
Mm,
that shit is just bananas. So I say it
mm.
often. That's
It's
my
a good
word.
one.
Yeah. So analysis paralysis. We were talking. It's also on the list. What like inspires you to like eventually? Oh wait, that's what I was going to ask you. So this is a funny story. I read about this. It was. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place, but I'm not. Uh, I read this story on online about this kid who was 18 years old, and every year this family went on an exotic family vacation where they went to all these all-inclusive resorts
Mm-hmm.
in different exotic places. But he's like, I've always wanted to go on a cruise. Can we get a cruise? And his family was like, yeah, it's for your graduation. It's for your 18th birthday. We'll do our family trip. We'll go on this cruise.
Yeah.
And so he says, all right, but I want you to know it's not like these all inclusive resorts. It's just it's strictly regimented. You're only in town for a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be back on the boat or they will leave you. And
Mm-hmm.
so he was with his parents and they were shopping and he's with his parents and he's like, we got to go. We got to get, the boat is going to leave. And
Yeah.
his parents were like, they won't leave. Just go without us. So the kid went back on the boat. Boat left these people somewhere,
What?
and the boat left because obviously a cruise ship is not going to wait. A cruise ship of
No.
4,000 people is not going to wait for two who are shopping. And so the parents WhatsApped the kid, and they were like, "How come you didn't tell the boat to wait for us?" And the kid was like, "I told you they weren't going to wait." So now the internet is all aflux, and they're just like talking about it. Would you have left your parents?
I mean, I feel like I'm um
Or your
mm,
friends? Would you just if you were like, you knew the boat was going to leave and you knew that you were done and you were ready to go,
well,
but
I
they
think
were
I would have been able to convince, especially, well, this would have never happened with my mom. I've been on 2 cruise ships with my family before, or my mom's side of the family, that is. And my mom is so adamant about being on time everywhere. Like that would just never be a story that would ever happen. But if
okay.
it were like my friends, for example, like as much as people like to think like I am the procrastinator and I'm never on time, which is slightly true, but when it comes to trips and things like that, like I get so anxious about things. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I would be the person that's like, come on, guys, like we have to get back. Like I would be the one pushing people to be like, okay, let's make it on time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, but the parents told the kid to go back to the boat.
Yeah, and now but they're messaging him constantly. You're a terrible son.
Okay, well,
You
why would you tell your child to go back to the boat alone?
because he was
Like,
bugging him. He was bugging him because he was like, we got to go. We're on time. We got to go.
yeah, but this is so the parents' fault. Like,
I
There's
agree.
no way this is the kid's fault when it's like he's the one telling them we gotta go, and then they're like, "Well, just go back to the boat alone." And then they're like,
Mhm.
"Why didn't you tell the boat to wait for us?" Like, I'm sorry, the ship is not going to wait for you.
Right. It's so funny. And then I just think that, but now he's on the boat and he's like, yeah, I'm on the boat with no parents. Ooh.
Yeah, I've yet to go on a cruise ship with no like family members, so I would love to do that. I think it would be such a change of scenery.
You and a couple of your posse.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
That would be
I
fun.
love a cruise ship. They're a blast.
Do you call people or is it all text?
Oh, I FaceTime all the time.
Okay. I have to get a gift certificate for my niece, or it's
Hmm.
my uncle's kid. So I wouldn't think it'd be a niece, probably a cousin.
Hmm.
Um, and uh, and so I'm gonna get a gift certificate at Lululemon. So I needed to find out if I had to go to the store, if I could get a physical gift card to give as a gift for a party this Sunday in Nevada.
Hmm.
And I was on the phone with like AI for like 20 minutes, and it kept going. Press 1 to ask store locations. Press 2 to speak with someone in store. 2,
I'm
and then
I'm
they hung up on me.
wait, I'm pretty sure you could just buy a gift card online, especially for
Yeah, I
something like
don't.
Lululemon.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Buy a gift card online?
You just like email it to them, to the person who's receiving it.
I can do that,
Yeah.
and then I don't even have to go to the store.
No.
What if I don't know their email right away? Like, can I purchase the gift certificate and then email it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to look into that. I didn't even know. I thought you had to physically go there and get a card.
No. I
There's
mean,
so many things that I do like that.
I'm sure there's a few places that are still like that, but I'm sure especially something as big as Lululemon, they're gonna be able to have like online gift cards.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. So then I'll get her email. That'll save me a trip. All right. Perfect. Let's see. Oh, randomly pick 3 people. The giveaway for the free shirt. Free shirt time, everybody. Random giveaway. We're giving away 3 people who
Okay.
downloaded or followed us. Also, if you like the show, well, Hannah will do the thing at the end where she says the stuff.
Um, okay, I'm just randomly picking names here.
Just pick 3 names out of the huge list.
Okay, let's do
Wait, before you pick the names, will you confirm that I mailed you a list of like 30 or 40 names?
Yeah, you did. I'm looking at them right now, and I was quite confused when I first saw this email,
Okay.
but
All
I
right.
understand.
Okay, so
Okay,
the first one was who?
Ashley Trick.
Ashley Trick is the first winner. Ashley Trick, you are the winner of a t-shirt.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right, number 2,
Ray Szymanski.
Ray Szymanski.
And then let's do Clara Reed.
Clara Reed. All right, excellent, everybody. So Ashley Trick, Ray Szymanski, and Claire Reed are the winners of a Newberg T-shirt. Congratulations! And there's going to be a new T-shirt that's coming, one that says Newberg and Hannah as soon as Hannah makes it. So I just have to send you the logo, and then you'll have the thing on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be cool. All right, let me rapid fire the rest of this stuff for us. What is a current young people trend that's popping or that you've seen a bunch of people wearing around Los Angeles? I'll go first. I see women in one piece, like flak suits, zip up suits, like a suit that's it's like painter's clothing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I see those everywhere.
I would say, as far as like clothing trends go, very much so like the cutoff off the shoulder shirt is coming back for women, which is so funny because I'm like, that is so like 2010 coded.
Isn't that what you're wearing right now?
No, this is like just a zip up sweater, but I'm saying like when girls like cut the top of a t-shirt and then wear it off the shoulder, like that is something we used to do back in like 2010, 2011 high school days. And now I'm like, oh, it is coming back. But I would say something that just I've been like so intrigued by is the new generation, Gen Alpha, Gen whatever
Yeah, Gen Alpha.
the younger kids are right now. God, that makes me sound so old. But I've been down this rabbit hole of like the new lingo that they've been having. And I am like trying to understand. I'm like, what are all these words? Like there is like they'll call someone like a sigma, or like they'll call someone alpha, or they'll be like skibbity toilet, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then, and then they'll be like, if they're like trying to say someone is weird or like dresses weird, they'll be like, are you from Ohio? I'm just like absolutely dying laughing, going down this rabbit hole of like what these kids are saying, and I'm like, oh my god, they sound insane.
So are you from Ohio? Is that a popular Gen Alpha slang?
Yes, like really popular.
That's so great. I love that. I'm going to turn
Yeah.
that into a question on the show I'm working on. Are you from Ohio?
Yeah, it's so funny. And then like the whole skibbity toilet thing, I guess there was like
What
this
does skibbity toilet mean?
Okay, so basically there's someone made this viral YouTube video where it's like some like man's head coming out of a toilet, and then he's like, it's really honestly a slightly disturbing little cartoon that someone made, but these kids are like obsessed with it. So then when they like I can't exactly remember how they use it like in terms of like a sentence or whatever, but basically I want to say they use it in a way of like basically almost saying like what the fuck. They'll be like, what the skibbity toilet, like I don't know, it's just like so weird.
What the skibbity toilet? Okay. This is the part of the show you should clip this week, by the way.
Okay.
What the skibbity toilet. Any other? Okay, so that you think so current Gen Alpha lingo is popular. All right.
Yeah.
That is pretty funny. Let's see. I got all excited when the alphas on the show Crime Scene Kitchen that I worked with in Canada, they were like saying there's two things that they would say if someone was kind of scuzzy, because I worked with a lot of lesbians. If someone was kind of scuzzy hitting on another lesbian and they weren't into the girl who was hitting on them, they'd say, "Take it easy, G Flip," which I had to look up, and that's somebody's girlfriend from
G Flip is like a well-known drummer and artist, but then she's also dating the girl, or I think they're married now, to be honest. She's dating this girl, or married to this girl, Chriselle from Selling Sunset.
That's so funny. Take it easy, G Flip was like they would constantly like take
Wait,
it
these
easy.
were kids saying this?
Yeah, take it easy, G Flip.
No
and
way.
yeah, and
like how young?
20s.
Oh,
like,
okay. Well, they're not kids.
Well, to me, they're kids. And then they would say, "Oh," and then that was the first time I heard that someone's got the Riz.
Oh yeah, Riz is big right now. Instead of saying charisma, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, he's rizzed up."
Yeah, rizzed up. Nice. All right, cool. Do you think life coaches are real or a sham?
It could go either way. Definitely, someone could be bullshitting you into saying stuff that you could just like look up online. Some positive things you could to say to yourself you could look up online. But I do think there are people who take it very seriously and could help you through coaching you through certain things. Like, I mean, I feel like a life coach to me would just be like having a manager, like someone who's just going to be like, okay, you're going to do this today, and this is how we're going to think about life, and blah 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 blah. But I think it could go either way, whether it's a scam or they're legit.
I always base the life coach based on how their life is going. You know what I mean? So it's like when you get those emails from like social media people who are like, "I could turn your account into millions," and they've got 31 followers.
Those are easily scams. I get those all the time. They're like, "Hey, little Hannah, we think we could grow your account by 300,000 followers." And I'm like, "You're a scam."
Someone reached out to me and they said, "Hey, huge fan of the podcast. Really love what you're doing. I just have to ask, are you interested in doing this? Because first off, my roommate's a huge fan." So I wrote back, "Dear person who's probably sending me a form letter, what is it that you like about the podcast? What is it that you enjoy? Where did you see it? Tell me everything." And the person writes back, "I'm totally Team Hannah." And I was like, "Okay, where do you listen to the show?" "I listen to the show all the time on your Instagram." "Yeah, it's not on the Instagram. It was that one clip. Is a one clip. So that's really funny. Do you believe in UFOs or aliens?
Oh, 100%.
100%. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way we're alone.
And then, okay, that's pretty much it. I'm going to be in Reno this weekend at the Laugh Factory. So if you're checking this out and you live in Reno, please come out. You're not performing this week, I assume.
Performing this week.
No, you're not. So where can people find you this week at your restaurant?
Oh yeah, come to my restaurant. I love serving. No, God no. I will be here in Los Angeles, and you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify.
Oh, there's the voice. All right, tell everybody to like and follow, and then I'll say goodbye.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. Hit the thumbs up button if you think we did a great job today, and comment down below what you want to talk about next.
And did you know that Hannah Hates Showers episode is the current most popular one?
That's embarrassing.
It's nice. All right, well, see you later, everybody, and then hang on.